Oh, great spirit. The great mystery. Oh, I want to say thank you. Thank you for this beautiful reminder. This reminder of, does my dog know he's a dog? I don't know. He just knows to experience his adventure every day. And allow. And I am so grateful. So grateful for my fire family and how we delve into these topics which synchronistically are pulled out of this magic bag that so aligns with the planetary line, the planetary alignments of the energies of the week, which is emphasized even more so when we bring in our elders meditation and the gene keys and the Mayan calendar, and we're all a part of that one energy. And one of the things we've really been looking at for this week is this getting out of our own way. And this morning I just had this beautiful feeling of, I'm so grateful for this past year, this shedding of the skin, and being able to really face myself. I'm sure there's stuff I haven't faced yet, but in facing myself, come on, Chief. In facing myself, I love you. And looking at a lot of these different things and being able to peel these layers, it's kind of like, you get to that, well, who am I, right? And what is the oasis that we choose to live in, and am I on the right track? Well, and then I remember listening to Cher and going, I've reinvented myself so many times. And I have too. If I take a look at my life trajectory, so many times I've thought, okay, well, I'm this military woman, I'm this construction operator, and no, that wasn't it. I'm this ballroom dancer. Oh man, I can dance a storm and I'm really good and blah, 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 blah. And nope. Spirit took me out of that spot and moved me to the next space. Took me out of another spot, moved me to a new place. And so have all of these experiences and all of these, you could say, like identities underneath the belt, so to speak. Tools that can be pulled out and used when necessary or needed. But right here, right now, and just kind of like, okay, let's start from scratch zero. Let's just, okay, we have all of these experiences. We have all of these, I like this, I don't like that. I like this, I don't like that. And been playing and experimenting with myself this past year, going, okay, well, let's try this, see if this works. No, that doesn't work. And have found what really kind of fits, makes me feel good, works with my personality, works with whatever spirit is having me, I wouldn't have thought about wearing a neoprene skirt with a little skirt thingy around me, but oh my gosh, it feels so good. It kind of brings together all the little facets of myself into this look of who I am right here, right now. But this, where was I going with this? I had this beautiful feeling of when you don't take shape and you just follow that breath. And this is what feels good here. This is what my next piece is. And not trying to define ourselves. We're animals on this grand adventure called life here on Earth, and it has all of its ups and downs and curves and corkscrews and flips and all the different things. But again, I don't know where I'm going with this. Where are we going with this, Spirit? I don't know. There's just something just so beautiful. It's not something I can put into words. It's this. I love that word. Allow. Flow. I don't know. There's something to those sweet little 4-letter words. This whole, I don't know, I don't have words. It's this just being allowed. Anyway, it's been a wonderful 24 hours of feeling the emotions of all the storms taking place, and it's happening, and we've also pulled out the big wrench tool of, what are we grateful for? What has this patriarchal colonialist power over paradigm taught us? What is the golden nugget out of this? As I remember when I was first waking up, and the knowledge or the wisdom shared with me that nothing goes away until you're grateful for it. And I remember looking at different areas of my life and going, okay, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? And I remember during that process falling in love with my ex-husband again. I'd already asked for the divorce, and going through all of those feelings, but I remember going, wow, I'm giving this up. I fell in love with him again. It was wild. And my heart was so expanded and so open, and And I remember my Reiki teacher going, "Are you just in love with everybody?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am in love. I'm in love." However, I knew, even though I was so grateful for all that he had taught me, all that we had experienced and shared together, and just so in love, but at the same time knowing that I can't go back into that. I'm grateful for the experience. It's been amazing. I love you. Thank you so very, very much. However, we don't vibrate at the same resonance anymore, and I knew that if I returned or I stayed or whatever, it was going to kill me. It would have killed me. And because it did try. It had already tried. And so, because that's what woke me up was the different suicide attempts and not being, and feeling confined and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, it's that piece of the peace that comes with, oh, thank you, and falling in love with it, and yet knowing that it's not really right. It was beautiful. It was an experience, but it's time to dissolve that and move on. And I believe we're really close to that. We are I believe we are really close to that as a collective with this patriarch and the colonialism, and then the same is true. You got to take it internal. For myself, I'm really grateful for what this experience here with the apartment and claiming my divine right inheritance and peeling these layers and being able to reinvent myself, so to speak, reconfigure, reevaluate, regenerate, and then bringing back out the wild side, so to speak, but in a different way. So it's like a reinvention. And we're getting ready to do that here we are doing it. It's not we're getting ready. We are in the process of it right here, right now. It's not a pretty process. It can be very, very beautiful, but it's also very, very can be very ugly and sad. What, Chief? So thank you. It feels like we're at a really big push. We've had all of this plasma and so forth, and the Jupiter and this expansion right now, and going, okay, the storms are expanding, everything is expanding, including that. Am I on the right track for the oasis that I really want to live in? What is the oasis? And am I on the right track? And making sure that every decision, no matter how minute the decision may be or feel like, but is this in alignment with the greater good and what I choose to expand into and create in the oasis? And we're doing that personally, on our individual lives, in our communities, and as a collective. And one of the big pieces is our responses. How we choose to respond when we are confronted with this with our old thought patterns, with our old beliefs, with our old I remember how difficult it was many times to make a decision that did not go in alignment with my bio, and how scary it was. And going, oh my gosh, I'm going against my parents. I'm going against my biological family because they were very much of that type of a paradigm. And going, oh, it's not that they didn't have hearts. It's not that they didn't love. It's not that they didn't, try to take care of each other and stuff like that. They did, but it was with this only if you do it my way. Kind of that, what we're in right now. And how scary it was to stand tall, but yet be kind. And have these impulses, like, let me give an example. They didn't believe in me helping and going and being in India, okay? They have dark skin. Why are you, I remember one of their comments was, why are you going over there taking care of, I can't even say the word, babies. It starts with an N. And when there's so many to help right here in the United States. And what's with this God stuff, and why are you... I became somebody different. I became somebody different, and somebody that was seemingly to helping the enemy or the other side. And I remember sharing my responses, and then I remember leaving and crying and going, I can't believe this is my family. That they don't believe in helping each other unless they're just like them. It's this, you got to kill them before they kill you type of mentality. You got to get them before they get you. Like there was always this competition. And I got to this space of, I love them. They're my family. They're a part of me. But I don't like the beliefs. I don't like the mentality. I don't like that resonance. And that's not the world that I want to create. It was the world I was living in, but it's not the world that I want to create. It's not what resonates with me. It's not what I believe that life should be like. It shouldn't be so hard. And my life became so easy and just flowed, and magical things happening all the time, and just so happy and joyful. And then I would return back to spend time with them, and it was like a war going on. And I'm like, wow. And so I remember the phrase, one of Jesus's quotes, love them, for they know not what they do. And then I remember that being repeated to me when I was living in Deming. And I couldn't believe that what I was living at that moment was this complete lie. It was, you know, a lot of the same bullshit, only slightly elevated from before. And now I'm like, wow, now it's not just the community around me. Now it's the entire world. Like, holy shit, you know? I remember having the thought, wow, it just voted my biological family into the White House. This is crazy. But we've done that. And it is this uncovering of all of these wild, crazy beliefs, and going, what kind of an oasis do we really want to create here? You know, you can't just cover it up and expect it not to come back. It's gonna dig itself back out. That's what stuff does, until we fall in love with it, find our gratitude with it, and alchemize it. Well, when I finally got to that space with my biological family, just loving them for who they are and seeing it in myself, that's the big key. I saw it in myself and forgave myself. And then I know it sounds sick, but there's this really weird, wild falling in love with them again, and then going, you know. But I can't do that, because it's just, I was at a fork at one point where I had a choice to make. I either had to stay and give my life up, give myself up completely and become part of that again, or get on that plane and go to India. And I remember offering a prayer, and then saying my goodbyes. And I went, and it was my adopted mom that reminded me. She said, who is your real family? Who is your real family? And I said, the world, the animals, everybody. We're all family. She says, yes. So go. Listen. Go. My mom had already shunned me and wanted nothing to do with me. And my dad said, we will be fine. Go. You must live your own life. And so I listened. And I went. And it was the best thing I could have done for myself at the time. And yes, I've still been those wicked, wild, sometimes insane beliefs and mental patterns and all that stuff comes up. That's been a lot of what we've been processing and going through this past year. And going, okay, how do I bring all of these sides of myself together? And instead, for me, it has been, you know what? I just let it all fucking go. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. I remember just lying back and going, you know what? I don't know a damn thing. I just turn myself completely over again and again and again. I said, one more time, I'm turning myself over. I don't know. But I know that there's a power, a presence, a spirit greater than myself that is connected with everything else that does know, because it created me. It created each and every one of us. And it knows what is best. And in listening to that, and in feeling the, okay, this resonates, that doesn't resonate. This resonates, that doesn't resonate. I remember Sheldon, I was watching an episode on Sheldon, and Sheldon going, yes, I was wrong, and I am reevaluating every decision I have ever made. Do I really like asparagus or don't I like asparagus? Do I like jazz music? Do I not like jazz music? And that's what it feels like. It's what it has felt like for me, kind of going through each and every thing and going, what feels right, and seeing what is going to be created from it. I don't know. We're going to find out. But I do know what I want the oasis to feel like. And that's the vibe. And I'm going to let go of the outcome. Because peace, dignity, and freedom is the focus, is the vibe, is the feeling. That peaceful, dignified, freeing love. Not just for myself. Of course, it has to begin with myself. But for everyone. For all the animals. And it's up to each one of us human animals to make that decision. And what our oasis is to feel like. Connect with that vibe. And allow that vibe to make the decision, not the head. Oh, that's the golden nugget right there for me. Let the vibe make the decision, not the head. Oh, I gotta say that one more time. Let the vibe make the decision, or the heart. Some would say it's the heart. Let the vibe make the decision, not the brain. So, then at the same time, sending a lot of heat, a lot of comfort, a lot of warmth, a lot of supply, whatever supply is needed for the monks, for all of those protesting, being out there taking a stand for our rights, for our freedom, for our dignity, for our peace, for all of those that are experiencing these storms. Yeah, let the healing of the windmill happen. What does a willow tree mean to you? What does the willow mean? What does the willow feel like? What does the willow sharing with you? Yeah. Listening to our elders. Elders doesn't just mean an old person. An elder means someone who's walked through the trial. One that carries wisdom. Could be as a child. So let's take this adventure like the innocence of a child, with that joy of a child, and raise those vibes and go, damn, we're on a cool adventure. Yeah, it can be tough sometimes. Adventures aren't always fun. They have their challenges. But we're on this grand adventure. Let's make it playful and have fun with it. innocence of a child. Hey, that's how the animals move through it, right? The non-human animals, that is. Anyway, I'm rambling here. I should be doing my yoga. My music's on. I need to get to that space while Rashini is having fun digging.